This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
This is Radio Sri Lanka. Here is the news. Edited by G. Yogaraj, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines. The Health Minister says that 2,269 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus so far today. Another 1,691 patients who had tested positive for coronavirus have completed recovery today. The Prime Minister's office said the news regarding Prime Minister meeting the Pope during the televisit is false. COVID-19 update, 2,269 new infections confirmed today so far. Sri Lanka reports another 1,691 coronavirus recoveries. The government has taken effective measures to seize the large-scale rice owners who have not adhered to the government regulations in Polonnaruwa. An all-night period chanting program centering historical viharas and 135 pirimanas will be held tomorrow. Local news in detail. The epidemiology unit of the Health Ministry says that 2,269 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus so far today. This increases the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country to 474,132. Sri Lanka's total COVID-19 recoveries have risen to 389,969, while the number of positive patients currently under medical care at hospitals and the homes is 73,659. The Ministry of Health reports that another 1,691 patients who had tested positive for the coronavirus have completed recovery and have been discharged within the last 24 hours. This increases the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country to 389,969. Sri Lanka has reported a total of 471,863 confirmed cases of COVID-19 thus far, while currently around 71,390 infected patients are being treated at hospitals, treatment centers, or under home-based care. The death toll due to the virus has risen to 10,504. The Prime Minister's office say in a media release that the news regarding Prime Minister meeting Pope during the televisit is false. The main objective of the visit is to attend an international conference. The Premier is expected to deliver a keynote address at the international conference at Bologna University. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking.
Continuing with more local news. The Tourism Promotion Authority has decided to participate in sales promotion exhibitions which come under the Tourism Promotion Work Plan. The main objective is to promote local products at the international markets through tourism sales promotion drive. The Sri Lankan delegation did not participate in the international exhibitions in the recent past due to COVID-19 pandemic. But the authority has now decided to participate in such events in future. Minister Vasudevan Anakara said effective measures have been taken to provide pure drinking waters to all households during the coronavirus pandemic. Secretary to the Ministry, Dr. Priyatha Bandhu Vikrama said more water purification machines will be deployed in future for this purpose. The main objective of this exercise is to provide pure drinking water to the needy population at this moment. Deputy Director, National Hospital, Specialized Dr. Kumara Vikramasinghe said there is no shortage of oxygen in the hospital at present. Sufficient stocks of oxygen is available in the hospitals. He also said those health employees affected with corona, if the illness is not very critical or severe, they could consider about the vaccination after few weeks upon recovery. Meanwhile, Dr. Harsha Davattu said that the pregnant women should take the vaccination. It is mandatory that they take the jabs without delay. An all-night Firit chanting program centering historical Biharis and 135 Pirivanas will be held tomorrow. The Firit is conducted with the sole objective of eliminating the COVID pandemic from this world. State Ministry for Dham Parcel, Pirivan Education, National Heritage, Performing Arts and Rural Arts Promotion has organized this program. This program will be aired live from City FM of SLBC from 9:30 p.m. onwards tomorrow. The government has taken effective measures to seize the large-scale rice owners who have not adhered to the government regulations in Polonnaruwa. The stocks will be seized by the government and will be distributed to the local market at the government-controlled prices. Accordingly, Lak, Padura, Hirusevirana and Surya maize stocks will be distributed to the market soon. The process will continue with the sole purpose to maintain the rice price at the government control level. That ends local news.
Get a personal loan for your marriage, education or housing within 24 hours with People's Bank Digital Banking. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The construction work on 191 hospitals with 11,000 beds and sufficient oxygen has commenced. The main objective is to provide a better facility to the patients, including operation facilities. The general practitioners, along with the international Shiga group of the company, will jointly implement this project. The project is titled O to Life. That ends main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Light.
The doctors say patients suffering from chronic illnesses should take their prescribed medicine although they have been given COVID vaccines. No medicine has been found globally to eradicate COVID-19. Therefore, Professor Priyadarshini Galapati of the Colombo Medical College said that taking expensive medicine cannot be approved. She said that antibiotics should not be taken to control COVID without a medical advice. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has advised the home-based patients to get the relevant advice from these expert doctors by dialing 1904. The hotline is available 24/7.
World News.
World News headlines first. Afghanistan update: don't recognize Taliban regime, resistance urges. Russian Emergencies Minister Sinjev dies at Arctic drill. Denmark tells some migrants to work for benefits. World news in detail. Anti-Taliban forces in Afghanistan have asked the international community not to recognize the new government announced by the Islamists yesterday. The all-male cabinet, consisting entirely of Taliban leaders or their associates, is illegal, they said. The US has expressed concern that the interim government includes figures linked to attacks on US forces. And the EU said the Islamist group had reneged and promised to make it inclusive and representative. Russia's emergencies minister Yevgeny Zinzev has died in an accident during a big Arctic civil defense exercise. The ministry said Zinzev, 55, had died in the Norilsk area where trying to save someone's life. A cameraman had fallen off a cliff during the interview, according to Margarita Simonoy, the head of the Russian broadcast RT. Some migrants in Denmark will now be required to work 37 hours a week in order to receive welfare benefits. It will be a requirement for those who have been on benefits for 3 to 4 years and who have not reached a certain level of proficiency in Danish. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said the rules were directly aimed at women from non-Western backgrounds living on benefits. Denmark has repeatedly tightened its immigration policies in recent years. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Afghanistan update. Don't recognize Taliban regime resistance urges. Russian emergencies minister Zinzev dies on Arctic drill. Denmark tells some migrants to work for benefits. That ends world news. Moving on to development news. Many projects under Vayamba Eller Daduruoya Agri project will be carried out during the next 4 years. The projects include the renovation of 89-kilometer long Vayamba Maha Eller and 96-kilometer long North Central Maha Eller. That ends development news. Moving on to sports news, cricket. The first T20 match between Sri Lanka and South Africa will be played on 10th of this month as a night encounter. The match will start at 8 p.m. local time on Friday. With the series win on ODI, Sri Lanka is expected to put up a good performance against Proteas here in R. Premadasa Stadium. New Zealand and South Africa will be England's test opponents in the 2022 home season, while India will return for a 6-match white ball tour, as the ECB confirmed the dates and venues for next summer's men's international fixtures. That ends sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Palmyra Development Board took a historic step forward in promoting local products globally by opening new sales showrooms in France and also appointing new distributors in France. State Minister Plantation Arundika Fernando and Chairman of the Palmyra Development Board, Krishanta Pathiraja, and other officials currently visiting France opened the showroom and was engaged in several other sales promotion activities in promoting coconut, Palmyra, and Kithul products. That ends business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Moving on to economic news. The Sri Lankan stock market concluded the month of August on a positive note. Despite the volatile, restrictive environment in the country, Colombo Stock Exchange has seen record-breaking levels of performance. The benchmark all-share price index ASPI and S&P SL20 index, which features these CSE's 20 largest and most liquid stocks, maintain an upward momentum. The overall market capitalization of the CSE has grown significantly over the past month, reaching the highest ever record at the end of the month of August. Indicating positive market performances, CSE gained a market capitalization of 411 billion rupees within the month of August, and at the end of the month, market capitalization was at 4,009.50 billion. That ends economic news.
Weather report.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in Sabargamo, western and northwestern provinces, and in Kandy, Nuwara Gol and Matra districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at few places in the Uva province and in Batiklu and Ampara districts, particularly in the evening or night. Meanwhile, fair weather will prevail elsewhere. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com predicts that Colombo weather would be generally fair in the night. Today's daytime temperature was observed to be around 29 Celsius. There will be night showers in many places in Colombo districts in the night. Night's temperature will be around 26 Celsius, and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 Celsius at time to this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 16, which show fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. That ends the weather report. To wrap up the night news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The health minister says that 2,269 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus so far today. Another 1,691 patients who had tested positive for the coronavirus have completed recovery today. Prime Minister's office say the news regarding Prime Minister meeting the Pope during the televisit is false. The government has taken effective measures to seize the large-scale rice owners who have not adhered to the government regulations in Polonnaruwa. An all-night Vedit chanting program centering historical viharas and 135 Peruvians will be held tomorrow. That ends the night news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka.